All right, cookies, we're starting at 10. We're going to work our way to 1. Just guarantee me the Cowboys are on the list.
They are on the list.
All right, let's rock and roll. Thank
sure
you.
Thing.
Let's go.
Number 10, the New England Patriots fans.
Why?
Little less so now that Brady's gone, but there has been this out-to-get-me mentality from Patriots fans while they're simultaneously in the most successful stretch of football that any franchise has ever had in the NFL. Their fans feel persecuted even when they're winning. They're number 10. You don't like that?
No. I don't feel bad about it. Here's the other thing. Boston fans can be very annoying, very mouthy. Yes, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
Fine. Plus, here's the other thing. The Brady worship, too much.
Way too much.
Okay. Number 9.
Number 9, a team with the most punchable faces of all time and a fan base to match it. Smug personified, the Duke Blue Devils.
Okay, this is shocking. Duke is very low on this. See, if I did this, Duke would be top 3. But
see, that's low.
Yeah, I think it's low, but let me hear your justification for why there's 8 worse fan bases.
Oh, because there's some really wretched fans out there.
More than Duke.
I think more than Duke.
You do realize the average Duke fan also likes the Lakers, the Yankees, and the Patriots.
So just to let you know, we're going after Duke fans then because there's some other ones of those on this list.
Okay, fair enough. Number 8.
Number 8, the Los Angeles Lakers. Spoiled, entitled. They say that star players are their birthright. As soon as somebody gets close to free agency, well, it's a year, 2 years out, pencil them into the L.A. starting lineup.
And here's the other thing. Nobody's from L.A. It's a transient populace. So how exactly
bandwagon.
do you become a Lakers fan? Now, there are some born and bred Los Angelians or whatever it's called. But for the most part, like here in Detroit, what's the second most popular basketball team? The Lakers.
The Lakers.
Now, how exactly did you grow up in Metamora and like the Lakers? Sir or ma'am?
That makes sense.
All right, number 7.
Number 7, Michigan fans.
Oh, come on. They didn't make the top 3?
The Wolverines are on the list, but apparently not good enough for Mike.
Let's hear why.
This is specifically the dyed-in-the-wool blue fans. You try to say something nice about them, but it's never nice enough. You pay them a compliment, but you're not paying them deference. You're not speaking of them as the leaders in the best when they beat Western Michigan, so you got to get yelled at. That's Michigan fans.
David, your thoughts as a Wolverine scumbag?
Should
7?
not be on the list.
Not on the list.
One of the greatest fan bases.
David, they
of
are
all
the
time.
number 1 most detestable. Like if you're a fan of another team and they show Surrender Cobra guy, sad Michigan fan guy, it is theater for all of us.
Really
hold on.
intelligent fan base.
David, you're making my point. I'm slotting you one lower. I'm putting somebody ahead of you. We're going to jump them. Ohio State.
Oh,
Ohio
yes.
State is next up, but for your behavior, you can now be lower on the list than Ohio State. And the answer for them is easy, and it's one word and one word only when it comes to the Buckeyes. The. You insist upon yourself. The Ohio State University. That is the only explanation you get.
All right, I can tell you this right now. If you did a gladiator style, am I not merciful routine, and you asked the rest of college football if we were going to kill off one fan base, Michigan or Ohio State, Michigan would be dead. There is no way Ohio State's above Michigan here. No, but I'll let the ticket texters
But the
chime
fans,
in.
when you go to their stadium,
They're
they treat
awful people.
everyone bad.
They're awful people. You're making a face. They're awful people, Mike.
I can't argue this point.
With the face paint and the Buckeye nuts, the shoulder pads.
I have nothing to add.
All right, where are we?
Number 5.
Top 5, your Yankees.
Here we go.
I can't argue it.
Buying championships and then being the most obnoxious about it. There's no salary cap. Breaking news. You spend the GDP of a small country on your team and you beat up the Rays. Congratulations. World Series. How many rings, Mike? Tell me how many rings the Yankees have. Do it. It's in your blood. It's in your DNA.
I don't do that. I am atypical, but I get why it's here. Yankee fans are very brash, very loud, very arrogant. And yes, there's this idea that they are we must be above the Mets. And right now, I got to be honest, we're not. I can't argue the Yankees. And in fact, I'm happy they're on the list. I still don't think they're worse than Michigan fans, but that's fine. Thank you very much. Let's go to number four
Number
in the
four.
Costa most detestable fan bases. Yet to see the Cowboys here. This is very exciting for me. They may medal.
The Eagles come in at number 4.
Yes. I love that.
And listen, and
Amen.
some of it's the cliche booing Santa and throwing snowballs on the field, but it's also cheering a possibly paralyzed Michael Irvin. That's who they are. It's what they do. They belong near the top of this list.
Just straight up, there's one word to describe Eagle fans. Animals. They're animals. They beat up everybody. They boo Santa. They do cheer injured players. They're horrible people. It's an unsafe environment to go to the game. Animals.
Welcome to the link. Is your will updated?
Yeah, dude, I know somebody who was a Lions fan who went to the game and got jumped. How do you beat up a Lion fan?
There's no threat
That's like
there.
wanting to beat up one of those poor animals in the MHPCA commercial, the poor dog shivering, and you're like, oh, I want to beat him up.
You feel bad for the Lions
You
fan.
should take pity on a Lions fan.
There's a theme with the top 3 for the medals. Number 3, the Raiders. Now, this is going to be controversial because I have them this high, but it fits the theme at the top. Yeah, they do the spiked shoulder pads. They're savages. They're just like Eagles fans, but they don't have the reputation. They fight people. And you know what they do? They have this massive fan base for a team that's been mediocre for a very long time.
Since Madden's days, yeah.
They enable that team. It's not one city. It's a whole region. It's a whole country that enables this.
I don't hate it.
Like, at least the other teams on this list can say, we win. As annoying as the Yankees are and the Lakers are and Duke basketball is, they win. The Raiders don't, and they're just as obnoxious, and they beat up on people who visit.
That's the part I can't stand. Cannot stand it. You know, I'll tell you, low-key, the whole Bay Area had a problem. Niner fans are no picnic either. Now, Rico might be a comic book reading lover, but let me tell you, Niner fans are a rough lot, too.
Number 2, Mike, the most deplorable, detestable, obnoxious fans. We love to see them suffer. This fan base, it's a bit of a catch-all. SEC fans. They pass off the accomplishments of others as their own. It doesn't matter that Arkansas doesn't win anything. SEC. It doesn't matter that Tennessee doesn't win anything. SEC. They adopt the accomplishments of other universities and act superior when
right.
they don't have a leg to stand on.
David, he's right. I brought it up last week. You don't get to say it just means more unless you are Bama, Georgia, Florida, etc. If you're Mississippi State and you've never won the conference, don't tell me it just means more.
South Carolina.
Right.
Ole Miss.
Right, Vanderbilt. It just means more. What are you talking about? Literally,
Arkansas.
you're a crash test dummy for the other teams. And he's right. They all have this, like, regional psychosis of, oh, man, you know, the SEC. And you're like, dude, your team hasn't been to a bowl in 5 years. Really? It just means more? I don't hate this. I can't believe you did the whole conference. But all right.
Listen, they deserve it. And number 1, the team that absolutely deserves it, a fan base that deserves it, the Dallas Cowboys. The theme with the top 3, none of you are any good, but you pretend to be. And you flex on everybody. The Cowboys have been average since 95, and they come out there, we're America's team. America wins when the Cowboys lose.
Well, here's the deal. Cowboy fans are Michigan fans, and Michigan fans are Cowboy fans. But here's a stat of the day. I want to bolster this for Costa. How many years has it been since the Lions have made the NFC title game?
91, so was that
30.
32 years?
30 years.
Okay? It's been 26 for Dallas.
Could you imagine if people walked around arguing like the Lions were America's team?
No, I'm just making a point. It's been over a quarter of a century for, quote, the most arrogant thing of all, America's team.
That alone makes you number 1.
26 years. They haven't played for the right to go to a Super Bowl, much less make one. Quarter of a century. And their fans have you believe that Tom Landry's roaming the sidelines and they win it every year. Watching those idiots, including a woman who needs to get to therapy, if you're balling at a wild card game, you need help. Maybe a Super Bowl. But somebody check on her. Bawling her eyes out at a wild card game?
That was the best one.
Jeez.